The best sketchbook is the one that you actually use. In the beginning, it can take a bit of trial and error to find the type of sketchbook and format that most inspires you to create. There are many different types of sketchbooks, formats, papers, tones, so on and so forth. So looking for a sketchbook that suits your specific needs can be challenging. The first thing I look for is the paper weight. The weight of the paper indicates how thick it is and what type of media will work well with that particular paper. A lower weight indicates a thinner paper and vice versa, where a heavier weight indicates a thicker paper. Sketching is the foundational art skill. It is one of the quickest and most basic ways to communicate an idea visually. Sketching is understanding. Sketching is brainstorming. Sketching is fun. And sketching can just be whatever you want it to be. Whether you like to draw with pencil, pen, markers, or paint, it all serves the same purpose. You can capture your idea on paper to either be the final product or just preliminary exploration for a finished piece. In either way, sketching is integral to the process. One of the hardest things to overcome is the fear of the white of the paper and treating every drawing as it's precious. The truth is, so many ugly drawings are required before you can start making good ones. So the faster you can get the ugly sketches out of your system, the better. A good way to get over the need for perfection is drawing in ink, since you can't erase. Sure, you can spend a lot of time erasing and correcting, but I found in my own practice that it's just better to make the mistakes and allow them to remain and just redraw if you need to. Alright, with sketching, before I do anything, I like to first just warm up a little bit, get my hand muscles working, get my coordination down, and just practice some key penmanship skills that will help with anything that I would like to draw. To start, I'm just going to be using this Strathmore 400 series recycled sketchbook. This is the 11 by 14 inch. And I'm going to be drawing with these Lyra graduate fine liners. Basically, very fine markers that come to a nice point. I like to warm up with pen or anything that you can't erase because it just helps encourage you to be more direct with your drawing, more confident with your lines, and not worrying about having to erase things. So to start off, I like to start practicing just with straight lines. So start just with short lines, a couple short lines, loosening up. Try to make them as straight as possible. One thing that can help you is if you put two dots down and try to connect the dots, but before you actually draw the line, you can hover over the line just to practice making a line. Make sure that you connect the dots and then just with one stroke, connect the line. So after a couple short lines, I like to start extending a little bit. So with the short lines, I was just mostly holding the pencil further back and using my wrist. But now I'm going to start trying to incorporate more drawing from my elbow. And then with even longer lines, drawing from my shoulder. So these are just warming up, getting your dexterity, your hand and mind on the same page. And the more you do this, the more you'll find the speed that you can go at to get the ideal line. If you go too slow, your line might be a little bit wobbly. If you go too fast, you lose a bit of accuracy. So it's sort of just, it's a sweet spot that you'll find the more you do these. And try connecting the dots. This is a technique I like to use a lot, especially when drawing directly in pen. Just put dots down, use it to give myself a target to aim for, to get a clean line on the first try. The longer lines, this one you really have to use your shoulder to draw. And it's hard to, the longer line, the harder it is to make it perfectly straight, but we're not going for perfection, we're just trying to activate our muscles and just get ready to draw. So after that, I like to start with the point and use that to try to draw straight lines at different angles, but all converging at that single point. So it's nice to test your hand-eye coordination to make sure that, see right there, I missed it slightly a little bit. And when you're doing this, it might help. I'm working at about a 30-degree angle, but if you're working flat, it could be easier just to, instead of trying to rotate your arm, you can just, when you're trying to make your line, once you find a certain angle that gives you the straightest line, instead of rotating your arm, you can just rotate the paper to make sure that you just get the straightest lines possible. Besides straight lines, I also like to practice curves. And as I'm making these parallel lines, I'm trying to keep even spacing between them. It's not always perfect, but I just like to aim to try to make the spacing between the lines sort of even in whatever way possible. Not worried about perfection, just worried about warming up our hands. I also like to practice circles. So first I'm just going to draw a straight line. You can try to draw circles between the two parallel lines. Circles are really hard to get perfect, but the more you do it, the better you get. You can also practice ellipses. Ellipses are a bit easier than circles. Try ellipses in the opposite direction. You notice how far back on the pen I'm holding it. That allows you to get more fluid lines. If you're up closer, the line isn't quite as, the further back you hold it, you can get more gestural strokes. And when you want a bit more control and precise details, then you can go closer to the point of the pen. And the more you do it, the steadier your hand will become. So this is just, doesn't take long, just a couple minutes before you actually start drawing. Just practice your penmanship, shapes, and dexterity. You can do it when you're bored and you don't have anything to do. You don't have any ideas of what to draw, pretty much any time. But then this time make concentric circles, trying to keep the same spacing all the way around. Once you get into these exercises, they can be pretty meditative and relaxing. A nice way to just focus on something, wind down, very low pressure. Time for a couple zigzags. So you can do the same thing, make parallel lines, trying to keep even spacing between. Zigzags are always pretty fun. Try to keep the lines parallel. I also like to warm up drawing cubes and boxes. I have this Rubik's Cube, basically just a cube that I can use in different orientations, or just draw them from imagination as well, either one. And this is where I like to put a dot down to give myself a target for the next line I want to draw.
Practicing three-dimensional blocky letters is also a fun exercise. It's an exercise that can help you to visualize three-dimensional shapes with your imagination and trying to rotate them and change their orientation as you go along. Some of the letters, I have them on their sides or slightly rotating. And overall, it's just good practice to try to rotate something in your head without having to see a direct reference of it. And the alphabet is nice because everybody knows what the letters look like, so it should be something that you don't necessarily need a reference for. Also, other three-dimensional shapes like cylinders are fun to practice. Cylinders, cones, pyramids. Patterns are also a fun thing to use to warm up and build dexterity. You might possibly even learn new patterns to incorporate in your own artwork. This Greek pattern is actually pretty hard to get right. After a while, I finally noticed that it's basically just the letter S on its side repeating. So the biggest challenge is just trying to keep the same thickness of the letter S without straying too far. Here's another Greek pattern where it's basically just rolling waves. And this is more practice for curves and ellipses. More so for curves. I definitely had to do these a few more times in order to get the shape right, but it's good practice. Next pattern is basically a series of repeating squares where the interior design alternates in position between each adjacent square. Once again, the spacing between is what you want to focus on, trying to keep consistent. So even more patterns, this time instead of a linear pattern, a pattern that more fits inside a square. Basically just dividing the square into a force vertically and horizontally, and then connecting each vertex diagonally, which will form our framework that we can shade in this alternating pattern. Of course, another simple, just checkerboard pattern, and you can shade with the same pen or use a larger brush pen, like an aqua brush duo from Lyra. Alright, so these are just a couple of examples of some patterns that you can do to help build your dexterity, to warm up your skill. I don't do all of these every single time before drawing. It's just something nice to have in the back of your mind whenever you do want to practice your line work and dexterity. So with that, now we're nice and warmed up, nice and coordinated, we're ready to draw.